Hello, I'm back, despite absolutely zero demand, with episode 3 of Wonk Walks in a glorious top-of-the-league setting. This week I wanted to talk about the introduction of 20 private members' bills, which took place on Wednesday.
Presentation of bills.
Now, while the government presents its legislative priorities in the King's Speech, which it did in November, it sometimes finds that there are other things that it would really like to do, but it can't add them to another bill as it would increase their scope, and it doesn't have the parliamentary time for a standalone bill. Now, this is where private members' bills come in. They are presented by backbench MPs, not the government, but sometimes you can spot a bill on the list which the government probably handed to an MP and promised its support for, allowing the government to deliver a policy that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to. And this is known as a handout bill. Yesterday, 20 bills were presented, and there are plenty here that could be handout bills. Take, for instance, the Space Industry Indemnities Bill, presented by Jonathan Lord MP.
Mr. Jonathan Lord.
Space Industry Indemnities Bill.
Second reading what day?
Friday, 23rd of February.
Since 2018, when the government passed a landmark Space Industries Act, the industry has been growing rapidly in the UK. We've seen the UK's first attempt at launching satellites from UK soil, and unbeknown to many people, satellite manufacturing is one of the UK's manufacturing strengths. But the Space Industry Act fell short in one regard. It failed to cap liabilities for when things go wrong, as is the case in other countries. For a long time, the government said there wasn't a problem, as the Act did say that a cap may be provided for. But because it didn't say that it must be provided for, this reduced confidence in the sector. So the government released a consultation earlier this year which said,
"The government recognises that changing may to must is the highest regulatory priority identified by the sector, and the government will look to make this amendment as soon as parliamentary time allows."
But because the government chose not to deliver a wide-ranging transport bill in the King's Speech, it couldn't deliver this measure. So now it's being delivered for them by a backbench MP on a quiet Friday in February. And that is how the government quietly gets legislation onto the statute book without many people noticing.
The proceeding has ended.